Hey guys, my name is Nelson Quest with AgentFire.com. I'm here today with
Jeff Bray from Sarasota, Florida.
And we are in Medellin, Colombia, which is actually where I live, and Jeff was kind enough to come down and visit me. So we're really excited because today we're going to be giving you guys a ton of value. Jeff is a brand new agent in one of the most competitive real estate markets in the US, and he's had a tremendous amount of success. In the past year, it's been a little over a year since he became an agent. He's got over 20 closed deals, $20 million in pending deals, and what we're going to focus on today is how he was able to do that. So I think maybe to get things started, Jeff, why don't you tell us a little bit about, what is it that drew you to real estate and just how did you get started?
My last job, I used to travel all the time, and I have to move every once in a while. And so I would use realtors that some were absolutely fantastic and some left a lot to be desired, let's say. And I learned from each one of them. And I really loved real estate. I loved the whole give and take of everything. And during COVID, everything was shut down. And since I had to travel and fly everywhere, I had time in my hands. So that's what I did. I researched everything to do with being a realtor. And I knew 100% that the thing that was going to separate me from everyone else was going to be my social proof. Because I didn't have any history. I didn't have any sales. So I had to make it look like, not that I had sales, but I had to look like I was the professional. I had to look like I was the one who was going to take them to the next level, and they were safe in my hands.
Jeff's touching on something that I think is just really important. I think you guys have all heard of social proof. You guys know it's important, but I don't think most agents understand how important it is. So Jeff mentioned he came to us because of our social proof. AgentFire, we've been fortunate enough to have awesome clients who leave us the best reviews on Facebook and Google. We're #1 reviewed on those platforms. They're the most authentic platforms, meaning you can't really cherry pick reviews there. And it's something we use in all of our marketing, and it's a big part of the reason we've had as much success as we've had is because when you have good social proof, you're able to immediately establish yourself as someone who is trustworthy, and so the digital presence, the website, these are all critical pieces, especially when a client is considering doing business with you. Maybe you just got a lead from somewhere like Zillow or Realtor, or if you're running Facebook marketing or wherever it is. The website is an opportunity for someone to get to know you before they necessarily have to have a full-blown conversation with you. Because if they're still in the decision-making phase, if they're still trying to figure out, who should I be working with, they're going to investigate, they're going to Google, and you want to make sure that when it comes to your digital presence and what you're doing online, that you're putting your best foot forward, because these are the things that people are going to judge you on. Anyway, so we'll talk about social proof a little bit more in a couple of minutes, and we'll show you guys how Jeff is leveraging his website for that. But before we do that, Jeff has done a lot of awesome things that I think are really useful, especially for new agents coming into the market since he started. One of those things is working with a coach. You want to tell a little bit more about that?
So I joined the Tom Ferry ecosystem. So I spent the first two things I spent money on after getting licensed was your website and Tom Ferry. So I joined the Tom Ferry coaching system, and it was absolutely fantastic. And again, they reinforced that you need to have something like a website.
Yeah.
Don't have a Me Too website. The problem with being a realtor is everyone else is too. I mean, you know it, I know it, you know it.
Yeah.
So it's a Me Too. How are you going to differentiate yourself from everyone else when they're like, oh, I'm a realtor? Yeah, me too. You have to have that website, and Tom Ferry, that ecosystem taught me.
What I love about Tom Ferry is, first and foremost, I think for any agent, really, you need somewhat of a central ethos, which for Tom Ferry,
they have to know, like, and trust you.
Yeah, and that's the central Tom Ferry ethos that they try to manifest in every molecule of their being, right? And so, in this full disclosure, this is not a paid ad for Tom Ferry, but he does market himself as the #1 real estate coach. And I personally, I've worked with every coach imaginable. I think Tom Ferry honestly is the best. AgentFire actually recorded a full success series with Tom Ferry. I think it's probably one of the I think you've seen it.
Yeah.
It's very different than the traditional real estate content you get. A lot of real estate stuff just talks about theory, but what's really cool about this Tom Ferry video, it's almost 2 hours long, and not only does Tom go through all of his top recommendations in the modern digital age, but then I follow up with actual live examples of agents that are crushing it. Jeff has actually used a lot as an example throughout that success series. I'll put a link somewhere that you guys can find it if you guys want to access it. But anyway, so talk to me a little bit more about the Tom Ferry philosophy and how you've been able to apply it to not only your website, but also just your digital presence.
So the one thing that Tom Ferry always says is GTS, Google that stuff, right? So he always says that. So, and that's how I found AgentFire. That's how I found Tom Ferry, and they have to know, like, and trust you. If they know, like, and trust you, then they'll do business with you, or at least you have a better chance of doing business with them. So they will get to know you through your website. Now, everyone knows every brokerage has got a free website. The day you get, like, hey, congratulations, you're with 123 Banana Street Realty. Great, here's your free website. You're gonna be like everyone else at that brokerage. No one else at that brokerage is investing in themselves. No one else is going to differentiate themselves. How are you going to be any different from anyone else in the entire brokerage? Now, I'm with EXP. EXP's got fantastic website, but I don't want to be like everyone else. I need to show that I'm different. I want to show, another thing that Tom Ferry says is your vibe attracts your tribe. So you want to attract the people that you want to do business with. And that website that you made for me allows me to do that. And when I say you made it, you physically made it, but you did it in conjunction with me.
With my bare hands.
Yeah. And you literally said, Jeff, what do you want? What do you need? What are you trying to accomplish? And the questions you asked were very apropos to everything I wanted to accomplish.
Yeah, so there's a couple things that Jeff's bringing up that I want to go into a little bit more. First is just when you talk about standing out as an agent, you want to stand out in the right way. So you could stand out by just putting on a pink dress with purple polka dots, but you can also just stand out as being the hyperlocal authority within the specific market, and specifically within the specific niche that you're focused on. Something that I've noticed with our top performing agents and not top performing agents, a big difference between the two is the top performing agents understand the importance of just focusing on an individual niche. And so this is something that when a new agent comes into the market, they want to try to just go after everyone. They want to just generalize, but to the point where they're not developing any sort of reputation as being an expert within a specific segment of that market. I think this is one of the biggest mistakes that especially new agents make. As a new agent, I know that the pie is appetizing, it's really big, you want to eat the whole thing, but if you just focus on an individual piece, I promise you're going to have a lot more success. So as examples, and we'll throw some of this stuff up on the screen, we have a client out in Colorado Springs who focuses entirely on military relocation, and she's absolutely killing it in that niche. We have clients that focus on oceanfront condos. We have a client out in Kentucky that is absolutely killing it with these big farm properties and ranch properties. Jeff, what would you say your niche is, your focus is?
Well, it's Sarasota, Lakewood Ranch area, certainly, and I focus on, as I said before, giving value, but relocation is really big in Florida. I mean, everyone wants to come to Florida, so I focus on relocation.
Okay, awesome. And what sort of services, this is another thing too, is as an agent, you want to find ways to provide additional value. So again, primarily the people you're working with are going to be buyers, sellers, and people that are relocating. And then how would you say that you provide unique value to each of those categories? And then how does the website help to?
So the website has buyer and seller guides that they can sign up for free. They have to give the information so it becomes an actual lead. So that's been ideal. Relocation, I have a relocation package on the website that AgentFire, again, did for me. So all this information, the bottom line is I went to you and said, make me look like I've been successful for 20 years. Yeah. And that was a major thing. And it does. If you go on my website, oasisgroupfl.com, it looks like I've been in real estate forever and been very successful for a long time. When in actuality, it's been, since February 1st of last year.
And I can't stress enough that people coming to your website, people that are just starting to learn about you, they don't know how long you've been they don't know anything about you. And so when you create this sort of presence, like you create this digital representation of someone that is just a seasoned expert, if you do it right, people will believe it, and you'll have all the authority, all the credibility you need to be able to earn their business. So as far as the buyer, seller, and relocation pages on your site, which in my opinion are the most important pages on the site. Like every time you meet with a potential buyer, potential seller, you should be directing them to these pages, and these pages should be doing an incredible job of selling why you help people buy, help people sell, help people relocate better than anyone else. Tell us a little bit about your seller page, because Jeff has a pretty interesting offer that's specific for his market, and there's a couple of things I want to talk about there.
So I came up with a website, sellstaythenbuy.com, and it was so many people in Sarasota wanted to sell because prices doubled basically.
Yep.
During COVID, and they were like, I want to sell, but where would I move to? So I came up with the idea of creating a website that allows you, we put in a contract, it allows you to sell and then stay for 6 months to a year, lease back, and then you buy. And how I would say that is, listen, in 6 months, do you have confidence in me that in 6 months I can find you a property that you will absolutely love? And everyone said yes. So that's how I sold that. But more importantly, I went to Nelson and my rep and said, hey, I want to create this website. Do you want to create a separate website for me? How much would it cost? And he said, no, we're gonna put it into the current website. I'm like, it's that easy? And they had it up in no time, and no additional cost. It was just there, and it looked awesome, and it saved me a ton of money,
Yeah.
and it made me look like a hero. So,
Yeah, and there's a couple of things that I think are a couple of really interesting takeaways from this. First and foremost, this is a specific formulated plan for his hyperlocal market. So he's been having great success with it. But more than anything, again, as a new agent, you have this comprehensive sell, stay, then buy plan. As someone that, if I'm looking to sell my home, I go and I see he has this beautiful page set up that describes all of the things he does for sellers and features this plan. It's just further social proof. Most agents won't even have a seller page, let alone unique things that they do. But to have this plan articulated there, again, even if I'm not interested in the plan, just the fact that the plan exists is in itself like a form of social proof, if that makes sense. So.
Yeah, and I want to reiterate, you gave me the seller guides. You gave me you gave me the seller guides, you gave me the buyer guides, you gave me a relocation guides. I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
You just added my logo to it. So, and I could customize it if I wanted to, but you did such a good job I didn't have to. So I just want to be clear that it was already given to me. I just came up with an additional idea, and you were like, no, put it into the website, because I had already bought the domain name, thinking you were gonna create a different website for me.
Yeah, because you could also just buy the domain name, point it to that page on your site, and set it up as a landing page. So it depends on what your goals are, and we try to accommodate. We try to whenever our clients give us input, we try to recommend the best possible output. Yeah, so Jeff mentioned his logo, and I wanted to just mention quickly that when Jeff signed up with AgentFire, he signed up for a custom website design. He signed up for our logo and branding package. This is another thing I wanted to just touch on quickly, the importance of good branding. So most agents, when they do a logo, it's usually a roof with a key somewhere in there, and it's just generic, and it's just forgettable is the best way that I would describe it. When it comes to the logo, again, when it comes to your entire digital presence, you want to be memorable, right? You want, when someone is thinking about real estate a couple of months from now, because the real estate process is long and drawn out, and oftentimes people think about selling even a couple of years before they actually go to sell their property, you want people to be able to instantly recall you. And so I don't want to go too deep into this, but I just want to mention that as you're thinking about your logo and your branding, you really want to always be thinking about how can I be memorable in a way that's also authoritative. Because when you have a high quality logo, that's another social proof. That's another just instant sign of authority. When you have a crappy logo where it's literally just I'm sorry, it really bothers me, these logos with the roofs. If you're one of the 80% of real estate agents that have one of those logos, I apologize, but you want to be more creative, and again, you want to differentiate in the right ways. So Jeff also mentioned some of the guides that we set up. One of the really cool features we have here at AgentFire is called our guide creator. So we have a couple of guides that come locked, loaded, and ready to go, buyer and seller guides, which you can take and customize, but we actually have a guide creator feature. So if you have some sort of unique value that you can give to your target market, you can use our guide creator feature to do that. So another feature I wanted to talk about, which is easily one of the favorites client features here at AgentFire, is our neighborhood guides feature. And this is something that Jeff is using with tremendous success on his website. With our neighborhood guides feature, basically you can create hyperlocal area pages for all the cities, neighborhoods, and even condo buildings in your hyperlocal market. And if you guys take a look at Jeff's website, I'm sure we're showing this on the screen right now, you can see that it's got AI generated descriptions, it's got school information, it's got listings with the ability to toggle to see upcoming open houses. It's even got Yelp top local businesses, which you can take and customize with your favorite local businesses. So in Jeff's case, when he has a client that's interested in a specific area, he's able to send them to that page, and they're actually able to see, what are Jeff's favorite coffee shops, Jeff's recommendations for gyms, restaurants, all that good stuff. You can add related blog posts to these pages. So a lot of our clients like to blog about local events or like to do business spotlights, and you can tag these articles to those pages, which not only gives more value to the end user, but is also great for SEO. Jeff's site also features a click map. And so where neighborhood guides is our favorite core feature, click maps is by far our favorite add-on feature. You want to tell people a little bit about your...
So it is very cool. Yeah. And everyone that goes on my website always comments. They're like, this is really cool. And I love your website. And I love how the map, so I have a map of Sarasota and the surrounding areas. And every county, every city or every area has its own click. So you run your mouse over it and it lights up. So it goes from one to another. If you go on my website, you can see it. It might be up right now. It is so cool. And you just click on it and it goes to the schools. It goes to the Yelp reviews for all the restaurants. And by the way, all this is done by you, not by me. Now I can customize it, but I choose not to because I'm very busy and it's not my forte. But the click maps make everything so easy, and it's exciting. I mean, you could actually play around with it at all the time.
A couple of things I want to highlight here, because even if you're not, I know a lot of this is sounding like a sales pitch for AgentFire, but I want to stress, if you're setting up a website and your goal is to make it hyperlocal, what's really cool about having a map that represents a specific hyperlocal area that you do business in is it's another opportunity for you to stand out from big portal sites, right? When you go to Zillow or Realtor, you're gonna get a very generic experience. When you go to Jeff's website and you see like the specific market that he works in, and you can see a map that has local points of interest and everything, it's another social proof. It's a valuable tool for people that are interested in that specific area. And yeah, it's another thing that separates Jeff from all of the agents that he's competing against.
So it shows the value that I give to my clients. Yeah. It gives them education. It makes them be able to investigate, educate themselves, and make an educated decision on how they move forward. So the click maps, it's really neat because it gives you for me, it's a great value because it educates my client. What I always wanted to do was educate my client so they can make the best decision moving forward. And I also want to look good on the website. I want to look like I've been doing this forever and that I'm very successful at it. And the click maps set you apart. None of the free websites that you're being offered right now could do that. And to me, it's the feedback I get from my clients are, hey, this is really neat. I really like the click map, because it took me to the schools, it took me to the area, it took me to the restaurants. And so it's neat. It's social proof, yes. But it's education.
Yeah. No, you're differentiating in a way that provides value, demonstrates hyperlocal authority. It's a great piece of our sites, and very happy to see whenever a client signs up for that. So speaking about clients and leads, we wanted to talk a little bit about Zillow Leads. So that's would you say one of the first things you did when you...
Yeah, I mean, fortunately or unfortunately, I mean, they're extremely expensive. Yep. So the leads, but they're good leads. I mean, they're expensive for a reason, right? Yep. It was funny because my website started first, then I got Zillow. And whatever I got a lead, whether it be from, Sphere of Influence or whether it be from Zillow, I always send them my signature. Everything I do, I always send the website, because I control the website that you set up for me. I control it. So it's got my YouTube on it, it's got Facebook on it, it's got Instagram on it, but it's in an ecosystem that I control, and it allows me to put my best foot forward. That's what I do. I always send it out. So with Zillow's great, but I want to take control of the situation. So I always send them to my website. Immediately I send them to my website.
Yeah, so there's a couple interesting things here I want to zero in on for anyone hoping to get value out of this video is Zillow Leads, right? Zillow Leads are very polarizing. We have lots of clients that absolutely love Zillow Leads. We have some clients that absolutely hate Zillow Leads. And so here's what I've identified within the subset of agents that love Zillow Leads is they do their website, their branding, their digital presence, and even their CRM and database stuff. They're on the ball with that stuff. So in Jeff's case, when he gets a lead, if it's a buyer, seller, or relocation, which ideally you want to identify as early as possible, he's able to then send them to specialized pages on his website that separate him and show all of the unique value he brings to each of those categories in a way that other agents simply can't compete with. It's funny because right before we started, we sat down to record this video, Jeff was telling me about the last lead that he closed, which maybe you want to tell us a little bit about that.
So it's a gentleman that's relocating. So I got a lead for a lot, actually. So it was just a piece of land that he wanted, and he's going to build a house. He already has a house local to where I live. And I instantly, of course, try to create that relationship with him on that phone call. Again, you are the 100% commodity. When you are given a Zillow lead or a Realtor.com lead, you're a phone call. You're literally a phone call. How are you going to change from being a phone call, a person on the other edge who literally just has a name, to having someone that can actually say, hey, this is a real person and a person I want to do business with? That's why I always send them to the website first thing. And so I sent him to the website. We met at the lot, and he goes, hey, I noticed your website. And it was real casual. And he goes, hey, I've got a larger piece of land that I'm looking to sell. Looks like you've done that before, which I haven't. And there's nothing on my website that says I do land, but but it's the website that he saw, and he was looking at it going, this guy must know his stuff. And he gave me multi-million-dollar land deal just based upon, not because of me, because he saw the social proof and the education that I provide on my website. And that was it. I wish I could say it was me, but it wasn't. It was the website. He was impressed with the website, and therefore impressed with me.
Yeah, and this is kind of the final point that I want to really hammer in on today, is that everything you do with regards to your digital presence is like a force multiplier in everything else that you do. If you guys are doing Zillow leads, Realtor leads, Facebook, Google, wherever you guys are doing marketing, one thing all of our top performing clients have in common is that they're using their, not just the website, but their entire digital presence as like a force multiplier. Because when you're doing marketing especially, people are going to come to know your digital representation first. And so if you have just a lame website that's just got your name at the top and you're not doing anything on social media, people, hey guy, I got a guest today. This is actually a top agent here in Medellin. Focuses on lakefront niche. So when you're doing marketing online, your website, your social media is going to be the first place that people get to meet you. And so you really want to breathe life into these things, because they're going to meet this representation of yourself before they ever meet you, or before they're ever even inclined to want to meet you, right? If you're doing your digital presence right, they should want to meet you and want to take that next step. And so, I can't stress enough that all of our top guys, they've got their website down pat. They're active on social media, even if they're not getting tons of views on their Instagram stories or YouTube videos. They're still the views that they're getting. Even if it's 100 views, imagine how long it would take to go to 100 different doors and knock on each door. So I mean, it's the effect is just exponential. And again, we're in an age where people want to meet you online before they meet you in person. Like, I'm shy. I don't want to just have a conversation with someone I don't know. And I also don't want to invest my time into having a conversation with someone I don't know unless I'm sure that this conversation is going to be fruitful, that I'm talking with someone who deserves my time. And these are all things that like a properly done digital presence allow you to do. I also want to mention quickly with especially when you're doing leads, you want to make sure that your systems are set up properly. So you want to make sure that you have a CRM. You want to make sure that you have like really high quality, personalized drip email campaigns. We actually have this ultimate drip emails guide, which I'll link somewhere if you guys want to check that out. These are highly personalizable. I don't think that's a word, but I think you guys understand. Highly personalizable drip emails. We have an emoji version and a non-emoji version. These have been a big hit since we released them. But yeah, you want to make sure that all your systems are dialed in. You want to make sure that you're logging into your CRM every morning and you've got, it's letting you know who was most active on your website so you can reach out. It's sending reminders to follow up with people. You want to, as quickly as possible, set up systems and processes that allow you to continue to grow and scale the business over time so that you're not just doing the same things every single day, which will ultimately keep you just getting the same result. You want to have highly scalable processes. So before we wrap up here, Jeff, any final thoughts you'd like to share with not only new agents who are looking to make an immediate splash, but also just anyone looking to really use their digital presence to separate from their competition?
Yeah, I mean, fortunately or unfortunately, we're two things. We're a brand and we're a business. Now, no one really likes that because they just want to be, hey, I just want to be myself and I just want to sell real estate and make a lot of money. But you are a brand. You are, and having a great website, other than a Me Too free website, having a branded website that you control, that you make your own, and that you control the narrative with is key, because it's your brand. You are a brand. And by the way, you're a business. Now, whether you like it or not, this is what we have to do. The government thinks you're a business, so you need to act like a business. That's why we have a CRM that works directly with your website. It dumps directly into my CRM. It's seamless. I love it. And I'm just really thankful for AgentFire. And when we started talking, you said, hey, what do you like about AgentFire? I said, there are, almost 1 million realtors. What separates you from anyone else? Zillow called me. This is a funny story. I don't know if you know this, but Zillow called me and they say, you're in the top 1% for customer satisfaction. And you're like brand new. I mean, brand new. Can you tell me how you did it? And I kind of upset them almost. I said, I call people back on a timely basis. I text people back on a timely basis. And I take care of things on a timely basis. But what differentiated me from everyone else was I had a kick-ass website. And so I showed that website to every single person I talked to, all my friends, all my sphere of influence, and certainly all my leads. And I'm telling you, it made all the difference. And that's why I'm here. Just to say, first of all, thank you, because you changed everything for my business. It doesn't even seem like a business. I mean, it's seamless. Yeah. And it's to me, I'm just extremely thankful. Yeah. So thank you.
I am actually aware of the Zillow. You said #1 in customer
satisfaction.
Yeah.
So they do these anonymous surveys. They do it, I think, like 72 hours after they talk to you, a month after they talk to you. But within 10 minutes of hanging up, I send them the website. And what it does is the website lets them think that I am much bigger, much better, because I'm good, but I'm not great. It makes me seem like a great. It makes me seem like a great realtor. Yeah. And therefore, when the anonymous surveys come back, they rate me higher. Yeah. It's like my son calls it like a cheat code. Yeah. He calls it a cheat code.
Now, I am aware of the Zillow rating because the designer who was working on your site, his name is Ferry, and because Jeff is doing so much business with Zillow Leads, we decided to put a Zillow social proof on the website, which I think has worked out great. And we've also got, I want to mention quickly before we wrap up, something I forgot to mention earlier, but the importance of call to actions. This is easily, when I go to agent websites, even some of the nicer agent websites, they almost always don't have any sort of compelling call to action. If they do have a call to action, it's usually very generalized and not specific to the page that people are on. So one of the cool tools we have here at AgentFire is our Engage call to action tool, which the entire goal behind it is to basically be able to just start conversations by targeting very conversational type call to actions to specific pages on the site, right? So if people are on a buyer type page, you want to target them with something that gets a buyer type conversation started. Same thing with sellers. You want to get a seller type conversation started. So with Jeff's site, right at the homepage, we have the VIP property list call to action, which here's a little secret, but this is the call to action that we found to perform the best across all of our sites, because who doesn't want to be on a VIP property list, right? And then on his seller related pages, we've got our seller guide, CTA. On his blog related pages, we've got CTAs to opt into his newsletter. And speaking of blog, this is another feature I want to talk about. We have an optional add-on. It's called Blog Assist Pro. It's, I believe, $15 a month. And basically it allows, we have awesome writers that we work with, and it adds one new blog post to his site per week. There's two options there. We have clients that like to take those blogs and modify them so it can post to your website as a draft, or it can just post as a live article. You were talking to me a little bit about this before.
Yeah, I posted it as a live article, and people call me and they're like, "Hey, I like your last blog," and I'm like, yeah. Sometimes I don't even read it, so I feel bad, but yeah, I mean, it's that easy. And if you want to get detailed, you want to change it for SEO purposes, you can make it like, I could make it like Lakewood Ranch or Sarasota, and you could change names, you can change everything. Yeah. You make it so easy. But I just do the fire and forget, like you set it up. Yeah,
honestly, I mean, if it was my website, I would probably just do fire and forget, or if I had an assistant or someone working on the website, I would ask them to take it and modify it. I think there's probably a better use of my time than going in and customizing blog articles. That being said, we do give the option, and what's great about blogs is, again, it's just the blogs that we post they're really high quality in the sense, and they focus on generalized topics, but they give a lot of value on that topic, and they're just another way to kind of show that you're active, right? So people that opt into his newsletter, we have his website set up so his newsletter goes out once a week, and it just pulls any new blog articles from his website into this automated newsletter. So again, it's all stuff that's just you set it and forget it, essentially. And again, just the blogs, the big thing there is just to show that you're active. There's nothing worse than going to the blog section on someone's website and seeing that they haven't been active since 2018. Like social media as well. It's important to just be active in all of these places, and to not, if you're going to let them stagnate, just delete the account or deactivate it.
Well, I like it because it makes me look smart, and it makes me look like I'm on top of everything, which sometimes I'm not.
Yeah. So, again, this is all just part of this creating this. Like, you want every molecule of your digital representation to permeate expertise, authority, and credibility.
It just makes my life so much easier when people look at my website, because it looks like you can know, like, and trust me, and it looks like I really know my stuff. So. I mean, that's like my son said, it's like a cheat code. It's just one of those things where it just makes you look, it's a force multiplier. So it just makes you look bigger and smarter than you actually are.
All right, guys, so I'd say it's time to wrap up. Hopefully you guys were able to grab some value from this. Jeff, any last thoughts or any, let's do this. Any recommendations you'd give to a new agent that's looking to just come in and make a splash?
Well, I would definitely educate yourself. YouTube is your best friend, and so is your website. So again, there's a million of us out there, and how are you going to differentiate yourself? How are you going to make yourself look bigger, faster, stronger than everyone else? And that's through your website. And remember, you are a business and you are a brand, and having a kick-ass website like AgentFire allows you to have both at the same time. So I'm just very thankful.
Awesome. No, thank you. And last thing I'd like to mention is just, I think I've probably said this ad nauseum, but you want to consider, when you're building a website and when you're constructing an online digital presence, you want to see all these things as working together, and you want to really work hard to get them set up so that they work synergistically. As an agent, I see a lot of agents that come in and they're very disorganized, and they don't understand systems. Jeff mentioned YouTube. YouTube is your best friend. Tom Ferry has an ethos. Tom Ferry teaches a system. There's lots of great real estate coaches that teach systems that show you how to get the website set up, get the CRM set up, get these things automated, how to set up your marketing. Because again, as an agent, you want to be thinking about this in terms of, like, how can I set up a machine that is constantly generating the specific result that I desire, even when I'm asleep. So that's kind of my big final takeaway. If you guys want more information about AgentFire, you can visit agentfire.com, where you can take the short tour. There's a bunch of videos featuring me, or you can book a demo with one of our super friendly product specialists. These are 30-minute demos. We'll show you exactly what separates AgentFire from everyone else, and we'll actually review your specific needs and goals and show you how to set up the perfect AgentFire website for you, which is something I want to talk about quickly, because we spent a lot of time today talking about how agents should differentiate from the people that they're competing with in their market. AgentFire is a very unique solution, and I think a big part of the reason we've been able to we've been rated the #1 solution on the top 2 review platforms, Facebook and Google, is because we have a very unique approach where, instead of the traditional all-in-one approach where they bundle everything in, but at the same time you're bundled into the same box as everyone else, and it's usually very expensive, time consuming. With AgentFire, you can essentially start with the website and then scale up at your own speed with any of our incredible premium add-ons. So in Jeff's case, he got our logo and branding package. He did one of our click maps. I think he got some newsletter stuff as well. You can scale the website as your business grows, or at your own speed, which is something that's unique. And then when it comes to CRM and PPC, again, rather than bundling those things in, we work with top third parties. So if you got a favorite CRM, it integrates seamlessly into the website. If you want to work with a company or an individual for PPC or even SEO, we have a list of trusted people, companies that we work with, where we've worked out better deals for our AgentFire clients. These guys are experts in the AgentFire website and platform, and yeah, you get much better PPC marketing, much better value for your spend than if you were to just bundle all these things in a traditional all-in-one solution. So that's the end of my AgentFire sales pitch. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Jeff just got here a couple days ago, so we're gonna go enjoy. He's got his son here. Yeah, we're gonna go enjoy. So yeah, thank you guys for watching the video. Hopefully you guys got some value, and again, don't forget agentfire.com, book a demo, and we'll show you the difference.
Don't be a Me Too agent.
Yeah. Don't be a Me Too agent. All right, see you guys.
That was awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
You were awesome.
No, I suck.
Thank you. Thank
You were
you.
awesome. Yeah.
Thank you.